Peter Strzok has now been shown the door. According to his lawyer, the now infamous Trump-hating FBI agent is still collecting a paycheck. He has been escorted out of the FBI bureau headquarters after the IG report highlighted his rampant pro-Hillary and anti-Trump bias. Now, we have known about this forever. Why didn't this happen earlier? Why does he still have a job? Now, we have been sounding the alarm about Peter Strzok for months, and now everything that we have been telling you is coming true right before your eyes. Now, it's definitely the year of the boomerang. Now, this is so important because the facts now are irrefutable. Peter Strzok, he was the lead agent in Hillary Clinton's 2016 criminal investigation, where we know she committed felonies, where we know she mishandled classified top-secret information on a private server. We also know she obstructed justice, deleting 33,000 subpoenaed emails, acid washing the hard drives with bleach bit, and having aides destroy the evidence with hammers, and removing SIM cards just for good luck. These are all irrefutable facts. Peter Strzok was the guy, the agent, that played the key role in drafting, remember, her exoneration letter with James Comey months before Strzok actually even interviewed Clinton or 17 other people. The same Peter Strzok who was then tapped to play the lead role in the phony Trump-Russia collusion investigation. Now, he hates Trump, so he fixed the Hillary Clinton investigation. Then he starts going after Trump. He's the lead guy in every case. And after months of inquiries, months of obstruction, the DOJ and multiple discoveries, we can now, for you, put together what is an accurate timeline of this destructive bias culture at some of the highest levels of the FBI. It all starts with Trump-hating FBI lovebird Peter Strzok and his mistress, Lisa Page. Now, look at this. Way back in 2015, Strzok texting Page, "Bernie Sanders is an idiot like Trump." On February 12, 2016, from Page, "He simply cannot be president." And Strzok texts back, "Oh, abysmal." And the text continues, and this is an important one. On February 24th, 2016, Page texting, "Hillary Clinton might be our next president. The last thing you need, us going in there loaded for bear." And Peter Strzok, who conducts the interview with Hillary, is the lead investigator in the case, agrees. In other words, time to cover our backs, fix the Clinton investigation. She's going to be our next president. We want to be on her good side. Then on March 3rd, 2016, Trump is a lonesome human being. He's awful. Hillary should win 100 million to 0. This man cannot be president. And on March 16, 2016, "I can't believe that Donald Trump is a serious candidate for president." The lead investigator in the Clinton server case, and by the way, would be the lead in the start of this so-called Trump-Russia witch hunt. And on June 11th, Strzok calls Trump bigoted. On July 18th, Page calls Trump an enormous, expletive. On July 21st, Strzok calls Trump a disaster. And by the way, he's only days away from beginning the Trump so-called collusion investigation. These texts are even more troubling, and they take a more troubling turn. Let's look at July 5th, 2016. Remember, Comey that day announced the FBI would not be pursuing charges against Hillary Clinton. Now, sometime shortly thereafter, the FBI opened their investigation into so-called Trump-Russia collusion. And again, we all know Strzok played a vital role in both these investigations, a lead role in both of them. Then July 31st, 2016, just days after Hillary Clinton's investigation ended, the fix was in, and the Trump investigation started. This is what Strzok texted then. "Damn, this feels momentous because this matters." The other one did too, but that was to ensure we didn't F something up. This matters because this matters. So super glad to be on this voyage with you. Why does it matter? Because this investigation, what? It can hurt Trump? And the other investigation, we can't mess it up because we're rigging Hillary Clinton's investigation so she's not charged like everybody else in America would have been charged? And look at this exchange just days later, August 8th, 2016, Page writing, "Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right?" Strzok responded, no, he's not. We'll stop it." And then on August 15, 2016, Strzok telling Page, "There's no way he gets elected, but I'm afraid we can't take that risk. It's like an insurance policy in the unlikely event you die before you're 40. This matters. We'll stop it. An insurance policy in case he gets elected." All comments from two senior FBI officials responsible for investigating one candidate for president and then the other candidate that they hate for something that was never, ever should have been started, to be honest. And there's more. Following that exchange, more anti-Trump text. August 26, 2016. Strzok is now the lead investigator in the case of Donald Trump. Quote, just went to a Southern Virginia Walmart. I could smell the Trump support. October 19th, Strzok says Trump is a bleeping idiot. On November 7th, in response to an article predicting a possible Trump victory, Strzok writes, oh, my God, this is effing terrifying. And after the election, November 13th, 2016, Page writing, I bought all the president's men. I figured I needed to brush up on Watergate. After all, you, my boyfriend, are trying to take him down. Now, keep in mind, this is just a small sample. Hundreds and hundreds of these anti-Trump, pro-Hillary texts from Strzok and Page, and so many anti-Trump messages from at least three other high-ranking, unnamed FBI officials. Now, these were the people that cleared Hillary Clinton of obvious felonies. They rigged that investigation. She would not get charged, not be removed from being the nominee of the Democratic Party the way every other American would. They felt like they knew better than we. You know, we're the smelly people that like Walmart because you get good deals there. Then there was this, of course, the same people tasked with investigating Trump. Now, is this what we call justice in the United States? This is what we call a free and fair investigation. Today, the lawyer for Peter Strzok actually implied his client was the victim of political targeting. Did he read his client's own texts? By the way, I do have advice for Strzok and his attorney tonight. It's the same advice I offered Comey before he released his ridiculous self-serving book and went on that ridiculous book tour. You do, Peter Strzok. You do have the right to remain silent. I'm suggesting you use it. And earlier, Inspector General Michael Horowitz was back on the Hill, this time in front of the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees, where he was absolutely grilled over his findings and surrounding the destructive level of bias among the highest levels in the FBI. Now, take a look at this moment from House Oversight Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy. He's back on his game. Take a look.
So I want to go back to the no, he's not going to be president. We'll stop it. What do you think the it is in that phrase, we'll stop it?
Oh, I think it's clear from the context. It's we're going to stop him from becoming president.
That's what I thought, too. Now, I wonder who the we is.
Well, I think that's probably subject to multiple interpretations.
We'll see if we can go through a couple of them.
Or the broader, or a broader group beyond that.
I mean, it's hard to fathom a definition of we that doesn't include him. So we know he's part of we. You could assume that the person he's talking with is FBI attorney who also happens to be working on the Russia investigation. She may be part of the we. But I wonder, Inspector General, did you find any other FBI agents or FBI attorneys who manifest any animus or bias against President Trump?
We did.
How many?
We found 3 additional FBI agents, as we detail in the report.
Now, next, and this is really important, Chairman Gowdy questioned Horowitz over his findings that there was no material evidence of political bias. Meanwhile, the document is filled with political bias in terms of corrupt in the FBI investigations. They're both corrupt. They both were run by biased people. You can't have that in the United States, especially one that's impacting a presidential election. Take a look.
They prejudged the outcome of the Hillary Clinton investigation before the investigation ended, and these exact same FBI agents and attorneys prejudged the outcome of the Russia investigation before it even began. If prejudging the outcome of an investigation before it ends and prejudging the outcome of an investigation before it begins is not evidence of outcome determinative bias, for the life of me, I don't know what would be. That is textbook bias. It is quite literally the definition of bias, allowing something other than the facts to determine your decision. These agents were calling her president before she was even interviewed. They were calling for the end of the Trump campaign before the investigation even began. They were calling for impeachment simply because he happened to be elected. That is bias.
This is the very definition of bias. Exactly. Now, we know that the anti-Trump political influence here that sparked this entire Russia investigation in the first place, thank God it is rightly under review because it's illegitimate, was from day one, and needs to end. Period. End of sentence. This has been a politically biased witch hunt from the get-go. Watch this.
The infamous text from Peter Strzok saying, "We will stop President Trump from taking office," which we received on the day of your report's release, is a prime example. This text was revealed to you late in your interview as well, as I understand. Do you believe this text shows political bias?
I think, as we found, it clearly shows a biased state of mind.
And if so, do you believe the political bias shown by this text had an effect on the initiation of the Russia investigation?
I think, as you know, Mr. Chairman, that's a matter we've got under review and are looking at right now.
More to be determined on that.
More to be determined.
But the time proximity, as Mr. Gowdy pointed out, is significant.
Correct. In fact, there are these other text messages in roughly the same time period.
Unbelievable. Now, we'll have more on that huge development in just a minute. But first, take a look at this clip of Chairman Gowdy turning his attention to Horowitz's findings about the disgraced former FBI Director James Comey. Remember, he was the leader of the pack. Take a look at these blistering remarks.
We see Jim Comey and Jim Comey alone deciding which DOJ policies to follow and which to ignore. When he lost confidence in the Trump Justice Department, he memorialized private conversations, he leaked them, and he admitted he did so to spur the appointment of special counsel because he didn't trust the career prosecutors at the Department of Justice. When he lost confidence in the Obama Justice Department, he didn't make special memos. He didn't share them with his law professor friends. He didn't leak the information. He didn't lift a finger to get special prosecutor. Instead, he appointed himself FBI director, attorney general, special counsel, lead investigator, and the general arbiter of what is good and right in the world, according to him.
And, of course, indignant Jim Comey was rightfully fired. Now, even crooked Comey himself is under investigation. Why? For mishandling classified information. Ironically, the very crime he exonerated Hillary Clinton over. Yeah, the year of the boomerang. And let's be clear, none of this is normal. James Comey's FBI is in ruins. Watch this.
Mr. Horowitz, James Comey, Director of the FBI, Andy McCabe, Deputy Director, Chief of Staff Jim Rubicki, General Counsel Jim Baker, FBI Counsel Lisa Page, and Deputy Head of Counterintelligence Peter Strzok. These were 6 important people at the FBI. Is that right?
Correct.
And they were the key players on the Clinton investigation and on the Russian investigation, correct?
They were certainly important on both.
Has Mr. Comey been fired?
Yes.
Has Mr. McCabe been fired?
Yes.
Did Mr. McCabe lie under oath, according to your report?
In our view, yes.
Yeah. Is there a criminal referral for Mr. McCabe?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Has Mr. Rubicki left the FBI?
Yes.
Has General Counsel Jim Baker left the FBI?
Yes.
Was he removed from his position prior to leaving the FBI?
I'm not sure of that.
Has Lisa Page left the FBI?
Yes.
Was she reassigned prior to leaving the FBI?
I believe so.
And has Peter Strzok been removed from his position as Deputy Head of Counterintelligence?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Horowitz, you've been in the DOJ for 10 years. You've been Inspector General for 6 years. You're Chief of all the Inspector Generals. Have you ever seen anything like this at any other federal agency in your time in the federal government? 6 of the top people fired, demoted, reassigned, or left?
I obviously can't speak broadly to other areas that I haven't known before, but yes, this is
I've been in this town 11 and a half years. I've never seen anything like this. Even the IRS scandal didn't come close.
Look at your screen. This represents all of the turnover surrounding the deep state's blatant effort to elect Hillary Clinton and destroy Donald Trump. He was never supposed to win. Now, by the way, this didn't go according to plan, obviously, and now America's sad, abusive federal bureaucracy, something we never thought could happen here, is being exposed, and the deep state crumbling right before our very eyes.